Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me? Give me a yes in the chat if you can. What's the winner prize? It's around 900 at the moment. All right, boys. Today we are starting off with Fatal Tiger versus Erchere. Erchere will be joining us later, sadly, I believe. So for now, I'm going to cast this alone, which is better because nobody wants the chair in here. Are you guys all ready? Are you guys having fun? Are you guys being hyped? Because I'm not. I mean, it's an Erchere game. Not really. Yeah, I agree, Momo. Anyway, let's go here. On the Spanish side, we have Fatal Tiger. Not sure why he's picking Spanish. I've seen him do more splits than anything in the game so far. That's why I'm not really sure why he's picking such a static Civ. I don't believe he's that good in a heads-up fight, so he should be choosing a splittable Civ, I guess. And his card is basically this. Yeah, does he even play anymore? I haven't seen him in months, maybe weeks. He's rated at 49 out of 90. Let's wait for the card to spin and then check out the stats in peace, I guess. Booming 6 out of 10. Pretty self-explanatory. He's a little bit above average. Same for the art micro. I would actually put him at a 5 out of 10 instead of a 6 out of 10. But that's just personal experience. Unit composition, position micro, 6 out of 10, that rings true. 3 out of 10 for creativity. I would rate him a little bit higher on that, I guess. Splitting abilities, I would put way higher. I feel like he's a 7 or 8 out of 10. That's pretty much all he does, at least in the games I played, 1 versus him. And for the rest, who even cares? And on the other side, our USA prodigy, the only one to actually lame USA in almost every match. But then again, it is a competitive game or a competitive tournament. Of course, he's picking USA, which I would do as well if I could play them. It's our beloved Treaty God. Most notable moments for him would be being fed like 3k score and then deleting all vills after having 99 villagers and 1 military unit and still not being able to win versus Nahulbuk. He's rated at 67 out of 90, booming 8 out of 10. Sure, we all know the Erchere boom memes, art micro 6 out of 10. I would actually put that lower. I would put him at a 5 as well. Unit composition is good. Micro, okay. Creativity, 10 out of 10. Definitely splitting, 9 out of 10. I would put him at an 8 out of 10 here, but personal preference. And consistently bad at 9 out of 10. Erchere rated 10 more points than you. Yeah, he is 10 times better than you, Dramos. I would agree there. He's playing on USA. He's going for a late market, I suppose. Or a rather early market, considering that he needs the gold here. Are there any gold treasures on the map? Eh, not really. I guess. No? No gold? Okay, no gold. He will be opting into getting the Dutch bank as soon as possible here. I feel like it's actually worth it just skipping the market and going straight into that. But that's personal preference. Never mind, he has gold here, which would be really nice. And on the Spanish side, let's look at the deck real quick. That deck is looking pretty standard. Remember that Spanish gold is banned in this tournament just to even out the odds here a little bit. I wonder why the Infinite 10 Rodoleros. I would actually put the team and infantry thing in there, which affects your natives as well. And for the chair, we have a rather standard deck, I believe. Yeah, looks standard. Apart from this He wants more forts. Why does he want more forts? I'm pretty sure I know. I've played that versus that tactic before and it's lame as fuck. Of course it is. Oh, is there some shit talk in the chatting again? Blah 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 blah. Boom boom boom. Maybe stop booming for once, drummers, and just play the game normally. No Spanish gold. Well, Momo, Spanish gold is just too OP. You never run out of resources if you play properly. Yeah, chair opting into 2 churches. Not sure if you want to put 2 churches before the native embassy. Pretty sure the native embassy first is better, but then again, he probably wants the coin trickle here. Spanish, pretty normal. Actually, pretty bad TC placement in my opinion. Spec his build rate is here. Yeah, I would have put that TC here, probably. I mean, why even put it forward in that case? Just put it next to your TC. There's nothing to be gained here. And same for that TC, I would stick it right next to the natives, just so I have something to spam into the natives from. The chair has actually better TC placement here, which I kind of like. In terms of resources and hunts, everybody gets what they need. So there's no fights to be had here. And I hate this. Why are you placing your houses in the middle of your eco? Put them here. Or even put them right next to the corner. Don't do this. He's wasting so much space just with these few buildings here. You need to build more compact. Even though Spain doesn't need as much space. But still your eco will thank you later if you have proper placement. Those factories are actually in a really vulnerable position. Once Fatal Tiger pushes nuts, he could just put some mortars here and get those factories done. Looking better on this side. How you put all that fast way? Well, that happens if you don't have a Stone Age PC, I suppose. We will just be breezing through the boom here. If you want me to talk you through masturbation or the boom, I can do that, but it's boring as fuck to me, so I won't be bothered with that. Just putting all his wills onto mills and wood until he can finally afford all the gold cards, which should be any minute now. Yeah, pretty standard. Same for the Spain player, I suppose. He has all the cards out yet, but he hasn't filled his plantations yet for whatever reason. He's chopping the nuts forward, which you should do as Spain, since you will be the aggressor in this case. But you should also consider chopping here a bit instead of back in his base, just to get more walls or more beautiful walls. He's actually not leaving himself a lot of space for FB here. Nah, you don't join this call, Erchere. You don't cast your own game again. That's super cringe. Erchere still opts into making his FB outside of his walls, which I still don't agree on. Just put your nut FB outside of the walls and claim as much space as you can with these walls. I mean, if you want to be aggro all over the place, I guess it can work, but still, it's against the Spain start, which has one of the best start armies in the game. I would just put it safely behind. I get the fort, you want your fort upgrades done, but even putting down all those forts, I don't know. I don't know if he has actually started spamming his weird shit. Yeah, he is going for the Texan forts, which will enable him to just spawn random units for free. And not random, he can actually choose which units to spawn. So that is actually pretty handy for staying popped and saving resources, if you can keep your forts alive in a reasonable position. Let's see if you will just end up spamming AFK units all over the place. You're rooting for Erchere? Who is rooting for Erchere? Who would root for Erchere ever? Yeah, here we can see it. It's just a cluster here. If you would have just chopped there, I mean, I guess versus USA, you can even ignore chopping your nuts and just go all out aggro and just FB here instead of chopping this part. I would opt into a more beautiful base here. I mean, that's leaving him with 3.5 layers of walls, depending on the pathing. He is actually walling really hard on the outside, which I would also advise him to, since Spain wants to fight heads up. USA can split reasonably well, so he's just buying himself some time with all those walls. It's not a defensive setup, not at all. He is setting up defensive here, so he can just be aggressive over here. The popular belief is just, if you spam walls, you're gonna be camping, but the polar opposite. If you spam that many walls, you can, at least for the better players, you can expect them to go aggressive on the other side really hard. The chair should be scouting this. Let's see. Yeah, he has scouted this, so he should know what's up. Not sure why he's lining up in the middle then. If he's going for some splits there, I don't know. Splitting versus Spain can work really well, but you need to survive the start fight to be able to split there. And I'm not sure he can actually do that. Let's see, Fatal scouting here. His scouting is horrible. He doesn't know jack shit about Erchere space. Like, he doesn't know how many layers of walls there are. He doesn't know what and how much FB there is. I guess the forts are prohibiting him from scouting a bit, but I don't know. Just get 1 or 2 mortars. Pretty sure he has some mortars. He has some mortars. Why isn't he scouting with them? They have OP line of sight. You don't even have to come close just to find out what your opponent is actually doing. I'm not sure I agree with Erchere's lack of wall on the side, but then again, he's probably not expecting Spain to split hard. I mean, if Spain splits here, he's basically shooting himself in the foot, I guess. But then again, it is Fatal Tiger and he tends to split a lot. What is that Ori scouting? Yeah, exactly. Not touching the half map. You don't want to be disqualified for for crossing the line, I suppose. We will be pausing here in a second just to take a look at the start armies and how the game should be turning out. Let's look at the scouting again. Yeah, Fatal has no idea where Erchere is. I mean, he sees a lot of units over here. But then again, you could, or Erchere could have went for a hefty well delete and just had like 10 mortars on the side. You never know. Is it a stupid thing to do? Yes, it is. But should you still be watching out for strats like that? Definitely. If you guys ever see me playing German in 1 versus 1, just expect the full will delete and the dot box on the side after lining up in natives. Just saying. Yeah, that's a little bit horrible. On the other hand, Erchere sees pretty much everything. There could be some units here, but he doesn't know that. But then again, he sees all the start army here. Everybody who can just use their eyes knows that this is pretty much the whole pop Spain has anyway. Let me check if I'm lying. No, I'm not. That's pretty much it. Also, let me change the scroll speed here for a second, because who can play with that? Either way, if you look at this start army, there's a huge amount of lances here. How much do we have? 29 lances. That's really oppressive. 29 lances, 15 rods. Not sure if I even agree with the rods. I might have just went lances skirm here, since USA doesn't tend to start with too much Huss anyway, at least in this matchup. In that case, you have a little bit more oomph behind that, because those rods shouldn't be doing too much. You already have the halbs in this place, but that's just a personal preference. Erchere is set up with the trading post wagons. We probably just see him trying to sneak one wagon here and here again, like he did versus Destructo. A little bit Huss on the side, probably just to deny some walling builds. He has more Huss over here. Same thing, probably just to deny walling. And yeah, of course, he has all the tower wagons ready, as USA always does, which is it's. All right. Now I don't like my... what is it called? Scroll speed. Too much. Let's go, big boy. Yeah, let's go. And we have a little bit of an half map breach, but I don't think that is too important here. This star fight should be heavily in Spain's favor. I don't know why he's setting up back here. I would just actually go right to the line. He's opting to take one nut only. USA should be taking 2 nuts here, but he's not because he doesn't have APM to spare. Guess there was a pause there. Those are the trading post wagons, and they won't be making it through, I suppose. No way. But yeah, that was part of the lame tactic here. Erchere is actually walling off immediately. Is he also producing units behind that? Yes, he is, but most stuff is just in the middle. Those 4 mortars will take ages to pummel through that. He is denying some base on the side. And meanwhile, he's just dying in natives. But Fatal Tiger seems to be brain AFK here. He's chasing those wagons with 10 lancers instead of just pushing and denying base. After that start, he should be able to, or should have been able to, just deny the whole front base here. Not sure why he didn't. Idle units on the side. Erchere taking all the trade posts. Let's see if he upgrades them. Doesn't seem to be. He's upgrading nuts. Same for Fatal, getting all the native upgrades, hunting down that trade post wagon and walling off the backside of its nets. Anybody who ever played versus Erchere knows this is what you need all the time. It's the same versus a GIF. Just wall everything off just so you don't have any retarded units in your asshole. Yeah, Erchere almost full pop. That's a sight to see, but now he's not full popped anymore. He's spamming outpost wagons like there's no tomorrow. And also making his first, bringing his first natives on the field. He has a bunch of idle units over here. Kinda idle there. Move those. Yeah, looks like there won't be too much splitting happening here. Those mortars will probably just die in a second here. USA is actually having kind of a hard time against Spain since their anti-cav is kinda meh. So Chair should be using this embassy to get some melee nuts in there. But he's opting into spamming them into the fight. There is no horse out whatsoever from both sides, so both sides just... yeah, sitting there, basically. I would love to see 3 or 4 horse out from each side and just obliterating that infantry mass. Yeah, I agree, this push is really slow. It's like I'm playing. There's 1 horse out for the chair. There's a bunch of idle, or rather 2 idle lancers, few idle nuts here. Let's see how long this horse out survives. Should be able to just click it with your lancers. Click. No. Click here. I mean, it is kind of a secret that you can actually target your cavalry on specific units. I know it sounds weird, but that's the way it's done. Yeah, those 4 mortars are just slowly whittling away. They should be able to reach the nuts here in a second. I'm not sure if you want to reach the nuts or get rid of 1 or 2 of those buildings first. Since Erchere does seem to be popped on nuts, doesn't seem to be using them. There's a little bit of a push going on here. Still 2 layers. Still 4 mortars and some cav here. And some idle huss over here still. Not sure why Erchere isn't clicking forward. I guess the pathing here is a little bit awkward and that TC seems to be really threatening to him. Yeah, the first nut goes down. This should actually be pretty harsh. Let's see if he actually, Fatal opts into taking them. Where's his Explorer? Oh, it's down. Never mind. Revive your Explorer. Build the nuts, please. Also, he should bring forward his builds and actually build those buildings, or just get a wall over here. And on the same time, in the middle, the push seems to be dead here. A little bit of an overcommitment, but that's not too much. Let's see if he moves those units in a second. Yeah, spamming those pure lancers surely gonna cost Fatal some resources here in a second. So far, he's still looking decent in terms of resources. Erchere is taking back the nuts, but nope, he isn't. Not sure what this wall is supposed to be. Erchere could also take this trading post. I'm not sure if you actually noticed. He still has his trading posts on experience, but then again, he didn't send all the cards yet. Fatal seems to be on top of sending cards for Water Pro. Wasn't USA permanent? USA is permanent after the group stage. This was the last group stage match Tiger and Chair had. The push for Spain isn't too bad, but he should add more mortars and some horse art. I mean, Lancers do obliterate a lot of units, but not everything. And it's not the most cost-effective thing to do. So let's see how long he can actually keep that up before running out of steam. Erchere doing what Erchere does and not being popped while in a super threatening position. Fatal has a bunch of idle units here still. And the chair is starting to wall his side. And he still has the idle husk. Yeah, just imagine 2 or 3 more mortars to just get rid of those forts. Those forts will eventually produce so many units. I mean, he has him on State Militia. I'm not sure if you want State Militia in this position. And he's just walking them into melee range. Okay. Since there's so many Lancers, I think he needs more regulars here on the field and a lot more Hus. This is a good start, but just constantly have 10, maybe even 15 Hus out. Since Fatal doesn't seem to be too interested in actually using his natives in the right place, you can get away with so many Hus here. Still trying to take that TP. Just imagine if Spain made artillery behind us. Yes, exactly. 3 or 4 horse art. Oh, we finally see some horse art from Erchere. Now surely the game is going to take off. Let's see those tasty volleys. Or yeah, maybe just don't. Spain needs maybe 1-2 more mortars just to deny those buildings constantly going up. Erchere did age up with the option giving him enabling the state militia to construct buildings. So there's surely going to be a building spam here in a second. And still has those, where are those? Yeah, the outpost wagons just to rebuild those towers all the time. In terms of resources, the chair is still looking good. Spain is slowly but surely dropping. He is actually lacking quite a lot of wood already. Not sure how long that's gonna hold on. And I'm not sure I agree with the 3 coverants here. I would prefer him to just go horse art mortar here. Since when those forts are down, Erchere should have no way of protecting those horse art without the natives. Which are just AFK over here. Horse art mortar is such a more deadly push than just cover in mortar. I mean, what do you want those coverants for? Those 2 horse art? I'm not sure about that. Still have idle Hus over here. No idle units on the outside. Chair actually going for a little sneaky base in the back. Classic Erchere move. That's why you want that wall there. Let's see when Fatal actually reacts to that. But yeah, this is looking really bad for Erchere. Fatal should really be spending his cards here. Get those resources in. And those Mayan allies. And he's still spamming lances like there's no tomorrow. Finally, we have some artillery over here. Erchere is building a base and tower. Okay. Ardo's going to do something? Ah, well, Fatal already sees it. That should be dealt with rather quick here. This is looking painful. But why isn't... Where are the bolas? Why is Fatal not making any bolas over here? Oh. Just imagine all those bolas from 3 trade posts. It would have such a immense effect on the fight. But I guess he doesn't want to. Oh, the Jared actually really committing hard to this position. I'm not sure if I like that, but Fatal for some reason is just overreacting to this really hard. I mean, it is walled in. What is it going to achieve? Not a lot. How are those units losing? Well, I guess if those lancers don't attack, there's nothing happening there. Fatal still with a distinct lack of mortars. Could have taken out all that front base by now. He had all the control in the world. Why not use it properly? Let's see how long it takes him to actually remake a mortar here. They're actually going for a sneaky 3rd TP. And those buildings are still up. Yeah, I'm really not sure what Fatal is doing here. Just right-click your unit, your army, please. He's draining really hard on resources. If you're draining hard, reconsider your life. If you're not achieving an immediate win, there's already 400 points ahead. If you're not achieving an immediate win, just reconsider your unit composition. And still, the Erchere not realizing he can spam so much more hussars on this. 2 hussars isn't the amount I want to see here. I want to see like 20 hussars out. Could be top bugged anyway. Oh, 210. Some marines over here. Do those actually cost pop? They do. Yeah, one of his weird age-up choices just spawns marine whenever a building is destroyed, so that's why we're seeing those here. Finally, some artillery here. Fatal not having any horse out and just over spamming lancers again. This should choke him so hard. Yeah, he's just spamming the lancers in the one position where they're actually being counted. I mean, we have a 1 nut USA versus a 3 nut Spain, and Fatal is still managing to drain himself by spamming lancers only. I'm not against over spamming Cav, but not in situations like these. Just imagine 2 or 3 horse art, ancient horse art, just getting volleys off in this clump here. Yeah, and same for the missionaries. Where are they actually? He has only 1. Well, so much about ancient horse art. Can't have ancient horse art if you don't have any missionaries out. Yeah, Fatal still constantly going for the new trade posts. Which he should be doing, but he's almost drained here. If we're looking at Erchere's resources, yeah, he is really healthy. If Fatal doesn't change his style here, he's just gonna lose within the next minutes. Yeah, not having missionaries, not having horse art. Where's his church? Oh, he's finally remaking those. Why is there no forward church? Why are there AFK units everywhere? And Erchere actually rebuilding in the back. And those horse art are in a really nice spot here. There's no culverins. They can't be reached by lances. Those should be getting some really nice value. And there's still a tower spam going on. Yeah, and all those buildings are just spawning marines when something goes down. That's just retarded. Remember, those marines just have a decent attack against all those artillery pieces. And now this is a spot where I want to see so many more hussars from Erchere. Just everything that is here gets countered by hussars. I mean, there's a few Huankas, but he's almost completely drained here. And there's still no bolas as well. Yeah, those horse art are getting really nice value over here. And he can actually see what we've been talking about earlier. Those forts are just constantly spawning free units, which also helps to widen the economic gap. And now we have the state militia just spamming buildings everywhere. They're actually building really fast. And those can actually build towers. That's such a scam. Yeah, now we have horse art. Now that there's finally Huss out on the field. Now we get the horse art. Not before that. Now. And that's what I like to see. Just a Huss from every side. Fatal can't afford... Oh, he can't even afford to be popped. Nice. That's what mindlessly spamming lancers without Spanish gold gets you. This should be over. Even if Fatal goes back and tries to recover, there's no way he's coming back from this score difference. Decent hold for Erchere. Just doing what USA does best, just cancering the whole map. I would love to see him push really hard now. He should be able to read the signs and know that Fatal is really low on resources. I would like to see him just overcommit on spamming something like Hussars and going for retarded trades just to diminish that army, since Fatal can't afford to remake that army. This is actually one point in the game where you can afford bad trades. As long as you keep trading and keep your opponent on that lower score. Not sure if I agree with the rods here. Just keep sending yourself the gold and switch a little bit more to food instead. And he should also switch his factories to food. Yeah, this is what I want to see. Just swarm him now. Just constantly make units. Oh, I on the side, yeah. Just constantly be in his face. And he can't afford to remax here. He's down to 170 pop. Every unit he loses is gone for a while. He can't afford to just instantly remake them all. Now he's just making what he should have done a while back. Missionaries and culverines. Yeah, this is looking dire. Guess having those buildings in the side just constantly producing stuff, it's really annoying. I'm not sure if I agree with the 5 mortars now. You're completely out of res. What do you want to push now? Yeah, just imagine if those mortars were horse art. And just imagine that 10 minutes ago instead of now. He's just completely falling. He should be pulling out of this or GGing out. And we have some OP Marines just sieging. $150 pop. That's so painful. And the TP is still on resources. Line is actually upgraded. Erchere has it on wood. That's a huge gap. There's no way in hell Fatal is coming back from this. Yeah, now is Erchere's turn to add mortars to this mix. Just to get a faster push going. He's almost popped. And there's the mortars. And constantly 3 hussars from the forts. Oh, it's always 3. Oh, that's strong. And remember, those units don't cost you pop while they're in queue. You hope Killer can sort out Erchere? Why? Yeah, and he's still not maxed on missionaries. You guys keep pointing that out, I just choose to ignore it because stating the obvious for 10 minutes straight can be kinda tiring. Right, Erchere. Push! Oh, a full pop Erchere is so deadly. Not sure where he keeps playing here. He still can't afford to get any pop out. Petards? Why petards? For what? Now you denied trade post. Okay. And we have a side mortar. Should be creeping up here and taking this side base out since there's not much base left for Fatal Tiger. Erchere just putting up all the towers with one state militia. That's what we like to see. Getting an aggressive forward base. After spending all the game on this side of the map, he thinks, oh, let's see what the other side looks like. And if we look at this, yeah, Fatal still has no idea about the rest of the map. He just wanted to play here and didn't even manage to do that. Come on, Erchere. Forward. Oh, oh. He's almost full pop again. And 10 missionaries. Let's go, baby. Yeah, this looks painful. Out of all units he could have made, he went for Rhodos. If you're low on resources, don't make melee infantry units that are just going to be thrown away. Go for stuff that actually stays alive for a while. I mean, what are those rods achieving? Killing one mortar, maybe? Wow. That's worth it. Yeah, and still Lancers over Lancers over Lancers. Even out of this position, you can still mount a comeback if you're just playing a lot better than your opponent with your artillery. But he just makes disposable units. And disposable units are really expensive units in the long run. Yeah, can't afford to pop again. And Erchere is going back up in score. Should be putting his forts forward. And also put the rally points. Fix the rally points. Oh, actually there's some creep trackers. We didn't see those in the whole game. Yeah, Fatal should be GGing out here any second. Let's actually fast forward. Just stutter stepping back. And just dragging out the inevitable. No, finally he calls the GG and asking why he didn't ban this broken Civ, because surely that was the Civ and not the Lancers into Humainkas. What a sight to see. Really even combat XP, by the way. I mean, I agree, USA is kind of broken, but he could have won this at so many points if he just played it a little bit different. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, boys. We have our winner, the mighty Erchere. Who would have guessed? Not pop bugged for once. What do you guys want to see next? Do you want to see